Everybody out there in the wide world, we are live at FDIC. We are coming to you on behalf of the Firefighter Air Coalition. It's a nonprofit that looks at all things firefighter air. Matter of fact, that's what we named our brand new supplement, Firefighter Air. Our pillars are air management, fire, smoke, and cancer, technology that helps us with air, so SCBAs, firefighter air replenishment systems, the air standpipe, lifeline fire hose, and then of course we look at all things technology. Whatever they're doing out there in the big brain world, the propeller head world, that will help us do a better job with air or that we can link to research, that's what we want to be about. I can tell you about it or I can show it to you. So let's just play.
Stats would be.
So the people with us today are going to be myself, Mike Dugan, retired captain from the FDIC.
Hi, I'm Mark Fessenden. I'm president of the Firefighter Air Coalition.
And Chris Bloom, Fire Chief, Meridian, Idaho.
And
Again.
we're going to talk about the Firefighter Air Coalition and everything we have, and we're also going to show you a video about it, and we're going to talk about it once we get the video up and loaded. But again, this is live, so we have a couple of technical difficulties, but that's okay.
It's FDIC, right?
It's FDIC. It's live at FDIC. But we're going to talk about how these pillars affect our communities, our people, and our firefighters.
Well, and I just would love to go to our president. So the leader of our team, Mark, you've been involved in engineering in the sprinkler world. You're currently involved with nonprofits that are taking fire safety to countries all over the world. And yet you still have time for the Firefighter Air Coalition. Brother, what's your vision? What are we trying to accomplish here in your words?
Well, thanks, Mike. And I've been to a few of you guys' seminars over the last couple of years, so I appreciate it. I recognize that I'm in a unique category in that you usually swear or say words when you mention design professional.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm one of those dreaded folks that studied mechanical engineering and then fell into fire protection and the engineering surrounding.
Yeah, for how many years?
30 years.
Yeah, so a little bit of time,
that
right?
space,
Yeah, a little bit of time.
Spent a lot of time on NFPA committees, including NFPA 14, and certainly had a lot of respect for the folks that are living it every day on the fire service side, right? So when I got an opportunity to be involved with the FAC and really begin to understand some of the unique challenges that community faces and the opportunities that we have to really educate and serve that. Who wouldn't want to be part of that? And it's just been such a great environment over the last year and a half as we've kind of been involved in developing the FAC and then focusing on those four pillars you mentioned.
So we've talked about it. Why don't we just show it to you? I think we're ready to go live. So here's a little video clip that gives you at least a little bit of indication of what the Firefighter Air Coalition is all about. My friends in the booth, roll the tape. So there you have it. We can talk about it or we can show it to you. We are serious people with a serious mission, and we're talking about very serious things. And To highlight a little bit of that, let's bring in a chief officer who heard our message, loves his fire department, and actually elected to lead that department in this key area of air and the importance of air. So I'll bring in my brother Chris Bloom from Meridian Fire Department, also Tucson, did some time there, right?
Did, yep. 2 decades.
Chris, just in a, we have a short amount of time, but you saw it, and I'm telling you, Chris saw the technology, the Firefighter Air Replenishment System technology, the air standpipe. Brother, why was that important in Meridian Fire for your firefighters?
Well, the interesting thing about the Firefighter Air Replenishment System is it offers that enhancement to firefighter survivability, but it also offers the residents, the occupants, and the building owners an understanding that they're creating a very safe environment for the residents, occupants, and owners, and especially for those first responders when they show up to an emergency. And that was the unique opportunity with the Firefighter Air Coalition, where FARS was just one of the things that they were participating in. And very early on, Mark specifically, and yourself, Mike. I mean, I remember you showed up, flew into the city of Meridian with a generous donation from the Air Coalition of putting an air standpipe in our training tower. And that became regionalized, meaning we had departments from across the Treasure Valley of Idaho show up to see, hands-on, this is what this is, and this is how it benefits a firefighter in an emergent environment. And so that wouldn't have been possible without that very generous donation. And, and then there's been other opportunities where there was a mobile air unit that was donated. And again, in looking at the Treasure Valley as a regional response, now we have the ability to provide firefighters clean, breathable air in buildings and occupancies that have the FARS system installed. And then not the least of which, of all the places in the United States that the Air Coalition could have chose to host a impressive, by all standards, national training. Mike Dugan, you were there, and tall buildings. Mike, you and Annie were there. It was fantastic. And we were, through the I want to say benevolence, since you're a nonprofit, I think I can say that.
Yeah.
They
we are definitely a nonprofit.
Yeah, they brought that training to the city of Meridian, and it was for the benefit of 9 states and 30 different departments. So it was impactful, it was meaningful, and everybody walked away talking about those 4 pillars that you mentioned, because that was the focal point of that training.
We also had that, I don't want to interrupt, but we had that marriage and family course that we provided as part of that. And just, being able to serve the families of your community, it means so much to us as well. And certainly the air management piece was a big deal for us, being able to partner with you on that. But just really going to see the fruit of both of those training opportunities is really kind of exciting for us.
And I think
go ahead, Michael.
I think we have to also we talk about the 4 pillars all the time, but we have to talk about the 3 components, because the 3 things we need to fight the high-rise fire, and they have to be available to us. We need the personnel, we need the water, and we need the air. And we can't take one of the 3 to get the other one of the 3, then we leave one by itself, and it's not going to do it. The water's not going to put the fire out by itself. We need the personnel. Well, if we're using the personnel to carry air, we're not doing ourselves any justice. We need the 4 pillars, and we need the 3 components, and they have to be there together, because it is so vital for us.
So next month, I'm heading out to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And have you heard about the line yet? It's a 109-mile high-rise, a horizontal high-rise, 109 miles long.
What could go wrong?
9 million people will live there. Wow. Right? It's basically two football fields wide. It's 1,600 feet tall and 109 miles long. Wow. Right? That's the fire challenge that we're going to face in this next century from a fire service perspective. And it's not the only similar type of mega project that's going on in the
higher
world.
Density housing is going to be huge, right? Trying to find a place for people to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, in talking about the Firefighter Air Coalition, so you've heard a little bit about it. from 3 different folks. Let me make it clear. Our pillars are important to us. And when we talk about providing training and we talk about providing information in the air management world, our commitment and the mission we have from our board is to provide the most robust air management resources and training that we can come up with. Some of that was mentioned in the Firefighter Air Seminar. We're actually looking right now to do a high-rise seminar, a high-rise big box and mid-rise seminar in Houston in September. We're trying to put that together. We're going to try to bring a Firefighter Air Seminar to your town. What we need is a Chris Bloom in your jurisdiction, a leader that's going to step up and make that happen. When we talk about fire, smoke, and cancer research, we're going to link with the best organizations in the nation, Firefighter Cancer Support Network, and a host of other organizations that are doing that type of research. And we're not going to create all the data and the information because we don't have to. Lots of great people are already doing it, so we're going to link to that. We're going to bring you the finest instructors in the world. We're going to bring you the Mike Dugans and the Chris Blooms. When we look at research, ULFSRI, or Fire Safety Research as it's now called now. You just, in an earlier podcast from Mike and I, you just saw Richard Kessler talking about the impacts of multiple SCBAs on your air consumption. Wherever we can find that research, where it's NIST or FSRI, or you pick the propeller head factory, wherever good research is going on, the Firefighter Air Coalition is going to be there, and we are going to be at the forefront of technology. Whether it's the air standpipe, whether it's Lifeline fire hose, whether it's Arctic compressor and the great work they're doing, whether it's the folks at Sure Sales that allowed us to use the brand new Scott SCBAs at our booth today, we're going to be there front and center because that's the marching order we've been given. Mark, we have a little over a minute. Anything else you want to let these folks know about what they can expect from the FAC?
Yeah, a couple things that I'd really like to say is just thank you to all the folks that have made it happen. We're a membership organization that really appreciates all of those folks that have kind of come together to say, hey, we're committed to making sure firefighters have good, clean, breathable air,
right.
Whether it's through air management best practices, through our research, through how we deal with technology. We got to bring all those pieces together, and when we can bring all those pieces together, and we can be mindful of the air management side, which for so long has kind of been, I don't want to say neglected, but it doesn't necessarily come to the
Redheaded
forefront
stepchild,
of
man. Yeah, no, I can say it.
people's noggins, right? It is just so critical and so important, and it has to be part of your SOPs. It has to be part of your culture, and we are committed to providing the tools and the resources to make that happen.
You heard it from the president. You heard it from the chief. God bless, and thanks for being a part of the FAC.
Thank you.